Hey guys, I got a couple of videos I'm gonna put together for you. One of them, the customer complained that it was smoking and making a funny noise. I was just sure I was gonna find a heat pump going through defrost. That's not what I found. And then the next one, it was an intermittent problem that I was finally able to pin down. But I documented some problems I have with the field piece probes, and one time with the app I had to completely reset it. Y'all look at that and tell me if y'all have a similar problem. But here comes that video. Stay tuned. All right, I've showed up on the job and I'm pretty sure this is not the call that I thought it was. When they say it's making a funny noise and smoking, I immediately think it's going through defrost. So let's see what we find.
Should be live in there.
Well, so it's not a heat pump. All right, we had 6 flashes. That's a pressure switch fault. And as you can hear, this motor sounds like it's not even turning. Found this over here. We need to look in there and make sure it's going to be safe. Look at this. Those are pieces of the wheel for the draft motor. Look at all this. All those are part of that wheel on that draft motor. Initially it don't look bad, but we need to do a more thorough inspection. I think that's going to be okay. Very little rust. All right, I gotta get you a draft motor. All right, not only was that not what I thought it was gonna be, but it may also turn into a change out. I know it's not but 11 years old, but I think I have records of us having to put Freon in that system, so I offered to change it out. Either way, I should have an answer by the end of the day. I'll try to let you know. Hey guys, I'm on one that has been giving me trouble. I think I alluded to it last week. I've been out here multiple times before, and every time I come out, it's either not giving me the problem that it's giving the customer, or I made a mistake when I was trying to diagnose it the one time I caught it acting up. So I know it's a real problem. We just need to catch it and try to figure out exactly what's going on. So here we go. Wait a minute, what in the world? It's been going out on high head pressure and heat. I wonder if the customer turned that off. Let me see. Both of them flashing. Flash normal. I promise you, this thing has been giving me a head pressure fault. Locked out on head pressure. And now, I hope I didn't leave that off. Alright, so what I'm seeing right here is a head pressure of 959. Alright, before I put power to this, that can't be right. That cannot be right. I don't know. Right now it's reading 1 psi. And turn it off with no pressure. Alright, turn it back on. That's how you're supposed to turn them on, with no pressure. Alright, we're at Alright, now it says 173, and my suction must not be pressing in the depressor. 200. Alright, let's turn it on and see what happens. I do have blue and yellow jumped out to make sure it runs in heat. Degrees out here. I'm gonna hook this up just to measure this. Oh, that was leaking. Just to measure discharge pressure. Excuse me, discharge temperature. So these numbers are going to be way out of whack. That's a really high subcooling. This right here can't be right. Here we go. Alright, we're getting 130 degree discharge. I'm showing a subcooling of 71. So far, these pressures look normal. I do not want that to run in cool. My mistake last time was to reverse it and run it in cool when I got really high head pressure. I gotta put something on this to measure that pressure. Alright, before I start this up, I'm checking right now, I'm checking for a difference in pressure between hot gas and my liquid line. 20, 25, 30 psi might be normal, but if I see a drastic difference, that's when there's a problem. So that's what I'm really checking for, because I'm suspecting either this TXV or the one inside. That pressure right there will help let me know. All right, I'm already seeing we're at 323, 257. That's not too abnormal. I mean, that's not abnormal at all. We're starting, let me see, we're at about 40 psi difference right now. .327, 330. Now we're at about 34 psi difference. .350. My subcooling is 79 degrees. Now, the one time I caught it acting up, this head pressure was over 700 psi. And right now, this difference is 280. This is almost at 380. So it may be beginning to act up. That really high subcooling also makes me think that the TXV in there may be starting to lock down. Because if you think about it, that TXV is right before this liquid line, and if it's restricted, this liquid line will feel abnormally cool. We're up to 400 psi. 282 on my liquid line. .415, 417, that's already too high. My true suction is dropping. Once again, I'm up 423 psi here. That's 140 psi difference between hot gas and liquid line. That should not be the case. So I have like 150, that's 294 on my liquid line and 443 on my hot gas. That tells me there's a restriction. Now when you check pressures in heat, these two pressures on these lines should be similar. They should be maybe 20-30 psi different, but they shouldn't be this far off. Alright, I decided to run it in cool to show you there's no real problem, but I'm documenting something that's wrong with this app. My head pressure out here at 64 degrees, that's pretty much normal. My suction pressure is correct. But look at this superheat. It's trying to tell me that my vapor saturation for R410 is 94 degrees. That is not right. That should be more like 36, 37. And it's trying to tell me it's 93 degrees. There's something wrong here. I'm fixing to close this out and open it back up and see what happens. There's my air. There we go. How about that? But what I was trying to document is that there's nothing wrong in cooling. It only does that in heat. That TXV is supposed to be basically bypassing in heat, and it's acting like there's something keeps getting caught in the TXV. The last time I caught it acting up, I had a head pressure and heat of 700 psi. But at least now we know where to focus, and my focus right now is on that TXV inside. Alright, I'm a little bit relieved to finally get that diagnosed. The last time I saw high head pressure on it, I think I told you it was 700 psi. I did not have any pressure sensor or gauges hooked up to the liquid line. So I had my suspicions, but I didn't know for sure. Now we know for sure. I have verified multiple times that the blower's working, the filter's not dirty. So yeah, we finally got that one nailed down, and now we can fix it. On to the next. Before I sign off, let me say I appreciate all the positive feedback from the video I posted yesterday. If you like today's video, please like and subscribe. It really does help out. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.